What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Matreiuss, and he is casting Dwarven Goldmine. Raw! So sad. It depends on the matchup. We'll talk about this later, all right? We're going to talk about this later, okay? I'll come back to this point. Don't you worry. It makes me very angry. You're all very, very naughty. His opponent today in the red color playing as Poseidon. His name is Nullus. Exciting. He's also casting his lure very early here. This makes me less angry, but a little bit. I would normally cast this lure at the start of the game as well. No, this is good. This is good. You want to do this. Anyways, let's talk about the matchup, talk about why it's exciting. Poseidon versus Thor. Unlike Odin, Thor doesn't have access to Lone Wanderer. So, Lone Wanderer is the Odin-specific upgrade, which increases the Ulfsark's speed up to above 5.0, which means that it's really, really tough for archers to deal with the Ulfsark. Not only that, the Ulfsark get closer to the speed of cavalry, as a 5.5 speed versus 5.25-ish speed isn't that much of a difference. So when you calculate, when all is calculated and it all ends up being a thing, what ends up happening is that the Odin Ulfsark idea can really deal with what Poseidon wants to do very, very easily, and things can be a little bit skewed. Now, if we take that fact and we then think about what happens in the Thor versus Poseidon matchup, that Ulfsark problem is no longer a thing. The Ulfsark aren't fast enough. You can make Toxotes and deal with Ulfsarks completely fine. So oftentimes Thor players won't be going for the Ulfsarks as much. So take all that as you will. House coming up. Looks like, is it too late? Is it too late? Is it too late? As long as you start the house just before the 15th villager, it's going to be fine. The house takes 14 seconds to build. The villagers take 14 seconds to build. So let's talk about now why Goldmine in this matchup isn't that important. The Dwarven Goldmine. So the reason for Dwarven Goldmine to be cast early is to save this ox cart from being made. That's the reason. So you're saving yourself the 100 resources. You're also building villages slightly earlier, which means you're going to be getting slightly more resources out earlier. As that's the case, why do you need to get those resources out earlier? The answer is to kill your opponent. The problem with this is that the Greek player, especially the Poseidon player, pretty much regardless of map, is going to have the advantage in the early game. So you don't want to be on the aggression. You just want to be defending somewhat in that early game. So why cast Dwarven Goldmine? Well, maybe you get an easier time defending your hunt. More than likely, you're going to be fine in that respect, or you're not going to be able to on that, or it's not going to make any difference based on the advanced time you had. So my point is, save the Goldmine, use it in the classical age if you need to, so you don't have to go to your second Goldmine early and you can get to the heroic age, or save it for the heroic age so you don't have to go to your second Goldmine, you can stay in your base for even longer. Save that walking time for upwards of 10, 15 dwarves, however many, for a lot of that, and you're going to be able to find a lot more of advantage a little bit later. Anyways, Freya coming in now for Matreiuss. Beyond all that, the reason to cast Dwarven Goldmine early is to be aggressive early. So that's a thing as well. So if you do have a matchup like Norse versus Egyptian, where you want to be advancing early and getting aggressive, then yes, Dwarven Goldmine is good. So these are the reasons why you want to be doing something. All right, so Freya in now for Matreiuss, nice and fast, 420. He did save the ox cart, that's why he's advancing now. Longhouse is coming up. Nullus on the other hand, over here, he's already sending his Theseus forward, getting the Scarab Pendant here. Scarab Pendant, for those of you playing at home, is a 100% bonus damage versus buildings for your siege weapons. Onwards and upwards. Okay, so if we come back over here, take a look at the Flagstone of Buchan. This one's a negative 25% wood gold cost. This is going to be useful for making walls and things. Walls and things are good. As we continue along, see how it's all going to go. The Apollos are going to come out here to try and deal with this Valkyrie. The Centaur already here to defend this one, so Matreiuss not going to get any value where that's concerned. If we take a quick look at what Matreiuss is building right away, he's going for the early raiding cavalry. Makes a lot of sense. Still no ox cart. There's the ox cart coming out now, but I think it's going to be coming onto the chickens. As Matreiuss is content with this walking time that he's suffering, saving that ox cart, it will end up biting him a little bit in the bum here. As the Apollos are getting chased down by a handful of her. So nice play there from Matreiuss. As now he's coming in with these raiding cavalry. If we take a look at Nullus's perspective, what has he got? Nothing, because he's going for a town center here, giving up complete map control for this town center. Now, you do have to remember that Matreiuss, well, not Matreiuss, but Nullus here. Matreiuss normally plays Poseidon. So, but Nullus here has got the lure. He's saved this hunt in his base. The problem is his gold mine is exposed here. So he's going to have a really, really difficult time defending this gold, though he does have his heroes here for the time being. He's making the stables. I feel like one option that Nullus can go for here that's going to be incredibly strong is to mine himself 500 gold really, really early, maybe even cast Ceasefire here, and then go straight to the next age, getting himself access to Prodromus or something like that. As he pulls off of the gold, he can jump onto the hunt over here if he so chooses. He is making those Hippocon now as his heroes getting chased away. The Centaur retreating back, the villagers onto the Gazelle over here as well, and the villagers on these Giraffe just happily eating that one. That's a very, very nice amount of food that he's going to be able to get here. As we're not going to be able to see too many units coming out here for Nullus, as it's looking a little bit scary for him. He does have 100 gold in the bank. He has cut everything. He's going to be upgrading his watchtowers fairly soon, and he does end up clicking the ceasefire button here, getting his villagers back onto the gold mine, attempting to get as much gold as he possibly can during this moment, and still no watchtowers coming through, but this is very, very tense here. Matreiuss sees a win condition for himself. If we see what he's actually scouted, though, that's the problem. He needs to scout this top side of the map, because there is a gold mine over here that could potentially be snuck or already being snuck here. It's the weirdest longhouse you'll ever see getting dropped in the main base of Nullus. The reason for this is he can pull his army back, and the town center will focus this longhouse down, and then his army can sit underneath the town center fire without any problems. If his opponent refocuses, though, that's another story. So that's a thing that has to be thought about here. As Nullus, is he dropping down another stable? Yes, he is. More Hippocon going to be coming out. Watchtowers is up. I'd love to see crenellations getting grabbed here, as the villagers now need to somewhat retreat away from this location. I mean, the towers are up, so maybe not. The town center, see that town center currently targeting down, but good micro there from Nullus. Good awareness, realizing exactly what Matreiuss was doing here. As he pulls back and he pick off a villager, putting more pressure on, as the gold villagers still trying to get as much gold as they possibly can in onto this position here. The villagers not really able to hold this one too easily, but they can turn around, start shanking away. We do see a building getting taken down on this position, though, as the a watchtower, I guess, as the raiding cavalry managed to take that one out. No losses where that's concerned here. Because now you can see that these towers here targeting down the longhouse. That's going to be very, very helpful here. But immediately, Nullus very, very aware at this point. Nice play. I think that's immediately. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's automatic. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, villagers still able to eat the giraffe on this position. Happily eating the berries, finishing up the giraffe over here as well. As the raiding cavalry still searching around on this position. Matreiuss still trying to put pressure on. Let's take a look at his perspective. Does he see a tech and town center? No, he doesn't. Going to be going for the armory. As he wants to get to the next age, it would seem, maybe getting himself some upgrades. Definitely going to get the cheap Pierce upgrades here, as the villagers in the corner of the map grabbing the baboon over here. He hasn't scouted the top here to see that these gazelle are in this. He has seen one gazelle, so he will be able to eat those and be happy about that. Maybe go to the next age in the near future here, as Nullus is continuing to be defensive, as the longhouse Going to get cleaned up. The raiding cavalry do manage to find themselves another kill here onto that sentry tower. So the wood situation for Nullus is a little bit dire. He does have a great wood line here and here, though, so it's not that big of a problem. But in his main base, it's a bit of a problem, as the villagers do manage to shank away those raiding cavalry. Villagers very, very strong in this game, though. Nullus is getting very, very much out of position, trying to retreat them back as fast as he possibly can. The raiding cavalry will get a couple of kills here as they pull back. 2 kills down. The villagers back into the base here as more Hippocon coming through onto this position. Do we see crenellations? Yes, we do. This is easily the strongest upgrade in the game in terms of what it would do for a single amount of buildings here. It gives like 100% bonus damage. Is that all? 100% bonus damage to cavalry. So, I mean, it's not the strongest upgrade, but a very, very strong upgrade. 100% bonus damage to cavalry, plus it doesn't miss the cavalry. So, that's the thing. You can see all the list of damage it does. Crazy. Anyways, onwards and upwards. Let's take a quick look at what Matreiuss is up to. Not advancing to the next stage just yet. No town centers just yet. We see the raiding cavalry coming around this position, going to be targeting down this wall here. The village is going to be retreating off of the berries. Farms coming down. Walls coming up over here as well to defend this one. Towers do shoot 2 arrows. The crenellations does make both the arrows hit, and therefore not only is it just 100% bonus damage, it's also like 200% bonus damage technically in a way, but that's a weird way to think about it. Oh, onwards and upwards. Villagers finishing up on the hunt over here as Matreiuss, he's got pigs left or herdables left. He does have the berries in the middle of the map, but he is running out of hunt. And then advancing to the next stage can be very, very tough when you do run out of hunt. So he's going to have to farm or maybe come back to his base, stop production of units or something like that. Is he still looking for raids here? Nullus, on the other hand, if he was prepared and realized exactly what was going on here, he could very, very easily, as we do see a nice forest fire opening up this location. Nice. It gets a villager kill as well as some farm kills here as well. Not quite. But one way that Nullus could play this here is to cut production and go heroic age himself, getting access to the Nemean line, getting access to Curse. He's got the 2 town centers. He's got the crenellations towers. The villagers finishing up on this gold mine, though. They will have to pull back into the main base. No gold left for Nullus, so in a very, very difficult predicament here as he's going to move over onto this gold mine. But I imagine Matreiuss is going to be able to swing in here and prevent this. Obviously, this is where Matreiuss is going to go. You have to kind of play one step ahead of your opponent sometimes as Nullus checks it out. He's going to be bringing his Hippocon over. Nullus does have the population advantage now at 130 of 130. We do have to remember that Matreiuss has still got Frost to come, though, so that's going to be a big deal. As the villagers coming back over here, I'd love to see the walls coming up for Nullus to make sure that this gold mine situation is protected. He's immediately going to be doing that, sending a handful of villagers forward here as the raiding cavalry force moving in for Matreiuss. He's got himself full copper upgrades and thundering hooves versus just medium Hippocon. So these raiding cavalry are crazy strong. 28% hack armor, 126 HP. That's roughly equal to the effective HP that the medium Hippocon have got. Plus, he's got 4 Valkyrie here as well. As the wooden walls going to get up just in time. The infantry, I thought these were potentially going to be infantry buildings here. We do see some stables coming up. And Nullus is holding here, or attempting to hold here as best as he can. He has his own armor. No upgrades coming out of that one. Obviously, if you just get yourself like copper mail here, it can help out a ton with those Hippocon, but not something that's happening here. More buildings up to defend these villages, more walls coming through, and Matreiuss realizes, yep, can't get in here and finish this one off. Nullus going to be able to advance very, very soon here as these Valkyrie are going to come onto this position. That's a really, really strong raiding force there by Nullus. Onto Nullus' economy by Matreiuss, because the town center doesn't defend this easily at all. We see Aphrodite coming through. Matreiuss, on the other hand, he's going for Bragi. He is going for Bragi. This might be multifaceted. He's thinking, well, my opponent's going to go into Prodromus, so I want to make Ulfsark, and I want to get the Call of Valhalla Swine Array upgrades for Bragi, and then completely dismantle that and get a gold staff here, because that's what Matreiuss sees. Matreiuss sees flaming weapons, clean the army, clean the villages, win the game here. That's the win condition at this point. We see a temple coming up on the front here for Matreiuss as well, as his other temple has stopped production of Valkyrie. Battle Ball can come through very, very soon here, but the problem is that Curse is going to be available. Defender's advantage is going to be here. Potential towers could get thrown up behind this location as well, as the unit's trying to push forward. Flaming weapons not yet cast. There's the wall on this position as well to defend this one as best as it can. There's the flaming weapons coming through for Matreiuss. He's going to be able to push these units back immediately. Look at the damage that these bad boys do now, going up to 17.6 damage per second. Aphrodite comes through. Curse can be dropped, and it will indeed be dropped, hitting a ton of those raiding cavalry there, as they do get themselves the heavy raider upgrade, as he's still trying to push through. With the help of that Nemean Lion, things might be a little bit different though. Battle Wars coming in over onto this position. Meanwhile, over here we see the Valkyries getting pushed back, as it looks a little bit difficult here for Nullus. The Battle Ball and those raiding cavalry will be able to tear down this archery range, but there will be a helpful defense coming for these with the militia, as we do see the stable or the archery range does go down, and the unit's going to try and push through, try and take down some villages here. A little bit of a suicide, if you ask me, as the Prodromus coming through. They're going to be doing tons of damage to those heavy raiding cavalry. The villagers getting taken down. Do we see any attempt at making Ulfsark here? Answer is no, just pure raiding cavalry, as it looks to me that Nullus, he's going to be defending this one completely fine. Meanwhile, we've got nearly full bronze through for Matreiuss and no upgrades for Null. Well, he does have himself the Spirited Charge upgrade for his cavalry, so that's going to be a bit of a help. And he's now got himself heavy Hippocon or heavy cavalry, and he's been able to defend that. Flaming weapons push here, absolutely huge for Nullus. He's 2 town centers. He's in the heroic age. He's got everything he needs. He's got his farm set up. He's got his economy going. He's got his gold mine secured. He's defended the flaming weapons. All he needs to do now is secure his 3rd town center. Take this game late game. It's going to be very, very tough for Matreiuss to deal with Heliopoli and Colossus, because he's got no access to the Frost Giants. Now, there is another kind of win condition here for Matreiuss, and that is going to be potential Ragnarok timing or Fimbulwinter timing onto the next gold mine. So this gold mine is going to expire, and you want to put the pressure onto the middle of the map, prevent your opponent from getting these gold mines. As we see the heavy raiders moving in onto this position, going to be looking to pick off some villages. We'll get a handful of them, as they are very far away from this town center. I'm surprised to see those farms up over here. Oftentimes the best way to play on these locations, on these second town centers, is to build like your 8 to 12 farms, and then start building farms in your main base. Just send your villagers home. That way these raids don't really become a problem here, as the hill fort in the middle of the map is up, but will immediately be going down here, as Nullus is having none of that. We see the heavy raiders coming through here, going to be taking this fight, and it does look like Nullus not going to be able to finish this one. Does decide to turn around. Nullus, on the other hand, what's he doing? He's basically got a lot of favor in the back. Maybe making those Nemean Lions is actually not a bad idea. Oftentimes, you don't get to see the Nemean Lions' effectiveness against Norse because of those Frost Giants. But if your opponent doesn't have Frost Giants, Nemean Lions get a huge buff. So I would be surprised to see no Nemean Lions coming out for Nullus in the near future. Surely he'll get them coming out at some point. We see Town Center now coming down for Matreiuss very, very late into this game here. As the fighting is ensuing here underneath this hill fort. It looks like Matreiuss' economy or armory upgrades a little bit outclassing Nullus. Nullus does have bronze mail here though, so I understand why he wanted to take that fight now, because Matreiuss is just full bronze, and while it looks scary to be down bronze shields and down bronze weapons, the big difference there is that it's all of these units are dealing hack damage, so bronze mail is the big ticket upgrade where that's concerned. And you can see that this is exactly Matreiuss' plan here. He wants to get this gold starve underway, but if Nullus is on top of things, he could throw up a market in the corner here and start a pretty wicked trade route and not even have to worry about a second gold mine. But I mean, that's because you can sell wood for gold for a little bit while he's continuing. He will push in and maybe finish off this hill fort here. He does manage to do so. Meanwhile, we see this wall getting taken out. A handful of units already over here to defend as units can push through onto this position. There is the Theseus over here. We'll be able to finish off that shield maiden Valkyrie here, as those heavy prodromus going to be able to clean everything else up as well. Meanwhile, the Toxotes going to be able to take down the throwing axemen here as they're not able to push through. And there's the extra Nemean Lions starting to come out. And I mean, while their problem exists for Nullus on the third gold mine, the problem also exists for Matreiuss. Matreiuss has this gold mine up here that is just about to expire, and we are seeing Hippocon coming over onto this position here for Nullus, trying to find where the gold is, and he will be spotting said gold mine. The villagers sitting idle here. The dwarf's going to be retreating. Does he have gold in his main base? Answer is no. He's getting his market set up. Matreiuss here wants to advance to the next age, he does have a gold in his base. That's from the very start of the game, and he is deciding to go for Balder here. This is going to be incredibly scary for Nullus, because Nullus does not have a single barracks set up, and Nullus wants to go to the Mythic Age himself, so he's not going to have an ability to defend this location. We see the town center getting targeted down here as Matreiuss really can't be spending any resources here. He's got his market. He can sell some resources to get gold and see what he can do here as the throwing axeman popping in and out of this town center. He wanted to keep it alive for as best as he can. The Balder coming through in this town center as well, just in case earthquake comes. Nullus here is going for Artemis, and it's a little bit behind this, so this is going to be very, very scary for Matreiuss as his army slowly making its way over here to defend this one. Do we see any sort of attempt at a Masons? No Masons here. The villagers finishing up on the farms, on the gold in the main base. No gold remaining. Can sell that and make units. That's 100% what he should be doing here, and he is doing that. As we see the villagers popping out here, going to be taking down these units. The villagers in the middle of the map now getting the fortress. We see the military academies coming up for Nullus here. As Matreiuss, he's not building any units here to get these cheeky raids at this point. Obviously, a little bit difficult to do that one there. As whoa. We just see Nullus finding this cheeky villagers in the corner here. Sneakiest villagers of their life going to be getting taken down, going to be really hurting this Ragnarok that's going to be coming. And obviously this Ragnarok is going to be strong. All the gold mines are forward. It's going to be really hard to get those gold mines, get gold income. There is still the market. You can still sell resources. You can make some trade here. So we'll see what Nullus is going to try and do here as Matreiuss pulls his army all the way, or his villagers all the way back home. Balder hits. Armory upgrades here for Matreiuss are still just full bronze, but he does have full bronze. He doesn't have a single ox caravan out here, and this is a 275 population Ragnarok. As all in as it gets. Nullus hits Artemis. The question is going to be, where do you earthquake? Do you earthquake here and potentially not kill the town center because of all the houses and the buildings? He's going to be moving in here and seeing what he can do. The Hippocon is here. The earthquake going to be looking to come down. Earthquake comes down, going to hit everything. The town center going to be getting taken out. Yes, it does fall. All the houses fall. Matreiuss has got no resources left in the bank. This is the most all-in Ragnarok you will ever see. He's got one town center. He's got one villager worth of resources at 62 food. And he's got no houses remaining. So he has to lose all of his units and see what's going to happen here as the Nemean Lion is going to be getting taken down. The builder is going to be getting taken down. Nullus kind of needs to retreat his villages, but he's trying to hang on to this as much as he can. He can retreat through the fortress and get out of here if he wants to. But we see the walls getting taken out over here as the Heroes of Ragnarok want to check this gold mine over here. We do see the cheekiest of cheeky villagers grabbing gold on this position. Nice play from Nullus here, but it looks like the army is too strong at this point. The Toxotes are all falling as Nullus's economy, it's still functional. It's still functional. He's losing villages though. He's dropping down to 100, below 100 population. The buildings in his main base, trying to make some of those heavy Hypaspist here to defend as this town center is going to get taken down fairly quickly. This Hypaspist, while it does do good damage, you need quite a few of them to actually deal with these Heroes of Ragnarok. No attempt at repairing this town center just yet. Obviously, this is very important for Nullus to keep these town centers alive here because he's got all of his villagers on here gathering from food. As it looks like these heroes of Ragnarok just saying, all right, time to leave this position. Where else can we go? Matreiuss, he does know that there's a gold here. He does know that there's a gold here. He doesn't realize that it's being gathered right now, but surely he's going to have to make some sort of he's going to understand that it's there at some point, surely. So Nullus, he doesn't have the resources to get his town center back, as he does lose that one, as these Rag heroes are going to be searching around for more and more villager kills here, as Nullus 105 of 115 population, handful of units here ready to defend this one here as the heroes of Ragnarok retreating away, while they are also able to push in and take out the villagers on this position. They are going to turn around, take this fight just a little bit. Nullus, he's starting to get those armory upgrades. He's almost equal essentially with these heroes of Ragnarok, so the Hephaestus is going to be perfectly fine to deal with all of this. Meanwhile, villagers, random units all over the map here, dealing with the remainder of these units. We are going to be seeing the main town center falling here as the Hippolyta able to take out the fire giant from afar. That's a very, very big ticket, important unit for Matreiuss to keep alive here. He is pulling back as we see the Hippolyta getting targeted down there by those throwing axemen here. As more villagers falling, these villagers still managing to mine gold here for Nullus, but losing both town centers means that he loses all food income, which means the Hephaestus that he direly needs are no longer going to be able to get built here, as Nullus is going to be going for a little bit of a retreat up into the corner. He will lose every one of these villagers. They're not getting away from those heroes of Ragnarok easily at all. They're going to turn around, take a bit of a shanky fight, but they do no damage effectively to the heroes of Ragnarok because they've got too much armor. They all fall, and Nullus is down to 40 of 100 HP. Matreiuss has his... Well, actually, Matreiuss has got some resources. He must have had a whole bunch queued up in buildings or something. He's got a little bit of resources left. Obviously, no houses to rebuild those villages. But he does have a little bit of resources left, so this game could potentially continue here. As over here, we do see the hero of Ragnarok does get spotted. But these villagers, they need to run. And they need to run like yesterday, as those Rag heroes are furious that they've been hoodwinked here, allowing a gold to get grabbed. They're going to be retreating away. There could be kind of anywhere on the map that they could go for at this point, as we just see a random chimera here. Going to be looking for something to take out, as these units retreating back for Nullus going to attempt to make some sort of last stand here. 46 of 90 population compared to over 100 or 86 of 55 population. As the Chimera does manage to get a special attack off. Going to be getting taken out fairly soon, though, as the Fire Giant here, 60 HP, getting taken down by the tower. We see the Hippolytus coming through to deal with those over there. The villagers over on this position getting chased down. Some houses getting built up by Matreiuss here as well. As let's check out Nullus' economy. He has 3 villages currently gathering wood. That's it. These villagers are incredibly important to him. He's got 10 of them, but he's 3 gathering resources. The army going to come back over and defend this location here. Matreiuss can't take that one just yet. His villagers are going to start getting built here. Does he have an ox cart? He does have an ox cart, so he can come over and gather from these farms if he so chooses. So we'll see how it's all going to go, as looks like the Nemean Lion looking around the map, looking for someone to kill. Obviously, if he can take out the villages, he's going to be very, very happy. We see a granary coming up on this position to start gathering food, as this game is incredibly tense at this point. The villagers, I feel like it would have been worth it to drop that gold. That's 14 gold in that villager's hand. Oh, he does drop the gold. That's nice. And he's going to move back over onto these farms here and attempt to get some more resources in the bank. He's getting a market up here as well. Honestly, he needs the market to get gold in order to build the town center. I was going to say, honestly, I would have just not... Does he have another market? That's the only one. Yeah, he needs the market to trade. Oh, God, this is so tense at this point. I feel like Matreiuss, though, because he's still got this town center up, he's going to be fine here. If Nullus is really thinking here, he's going to be able to realize that this is where the villagers are, because they need to be gathering food in order to produce more villagers. So if he can send some units over there to hit some raids, you do see this Chimera might be able to do that, but the heroes of Ragnarok coming back here, and Matreiuss obviously not going to have the resources to rebuild this town center right away, but he will be able to get it relatively soon, I'm sure. This hero over Ragnarok just checking out the town center over here. Nullus just sitting in his base, trying to rebuild all of his units. Nullus might feel like he needs to put pressure on to his opponent here. And this might be the right play. Just run straight in onto this town center and kind of deal with that. The hero of Ragnarok going to take out all the farms. That would be pretty brutal. I think that's exactly what he's doing. Kill off the farms. That's so brutal. But yeah, Nullus needs to put some pressure onto the main base of his opponent. Where did his units go? They're coming over here to try and take out this hero of Ragnarok. Fair enough. Meanwhile, over here, storehouse going down. You don't really want to kill the buildings, as Nullus is just kind of pure units at this point. And it looks like Matreiuss, 11 villages versus Nullus. He's at 13 villages, so it's about to be a stronger economy for Matreiuss here in this game, as all signs point to complete devastation for Nullus if he doesn't choose to go and kill off his opponent. He's going to garrisoning his villages over here, getting as much food as he possibly can. And now we see Matreiuss moving out. The army advantage, if you have omniscience, the army advantage is definitely in Nullus's favor with 54 population to Matreiuss's 85 population. But the difference is that this is all counter units. Plus you have the Hippolyta, which can take out the fire giant. So it's all counter units. So a big advantage for Nullus. But Nullus doesn't know that. He doesn't know how much of an advantage he has. Now, one thing you can do is click this and see how much gold omniscience costs. At this point, 85,000 means your opponent's on 85 population. I believe that's how it works. We take a look at what Matreiuss is. It's 56,000. Yeah, so it's 100 gold per population or something like that. So you can actually check in the late game what your opponent's population is by using omniscience, which is something that I don't think many people really realize or have ever very much used. But if you're concerned and you don't realize what your win condition is, sometimes that can be the way. But now Matreiuss gets out another fire giant and things are going to be very scary now. I thought one fire giant with low HP, not that big of a deal. Two fire giant though, oof, that's dead Hippaspis. Dead. Lots of damage comes through. Those fire giants pick them off so fast. Matreiuss is just going to be able to push in, push out. It's going to be so tough to beat this one here, especially with a 42 HP Hippolyta, who's not really going to be able to help out all too much. Running forward, we see the throwing axe going straight after the Hippolyta. Hippolyta goes down. The fire giant win now. The Norse army completely massacres this Hippaspis army just because of that one misstep there from Nullus. And now what can Nullus do? He can't get his heroes out. He does not have a fortress. He does not have a town center. He does not have any ways to make heroes. The fire giant are everything here. Matreiuss is now on gold. He's going to be able to make more fire giants as they're pushing forward and they take out even more damage. We see the spread formation coming through. The villagers moving off of this location now, maybe going to look to come onto the gold mine or something now, as the Matreiuss units storming in to Nullus's base, checking out the farms. There's nothing on the farms here. Maybe Matreiuss realizes that there's really nothing that Nullus can do, as his villagers move up to the top corner, going to look to try and sneak around, get back onto this gold mine over here, get a little bit of gold for himself. Both players super confused. Like, if you take a look at what Nullus's perspective is, he doesn't know anything. We see the villagers over here do get chased away by one hero of Ragnarok. That's absolutely huge. But Nullus sees nothing. He's going to be able to take out these houses, which is going to be huge. But if you see this, where would you go? I mean, you see the army up here. I would go straight here. Kill the farms. That has to be the way to go. Or maybe the gold as well would be another way. But with the fire giants coming in, look at these bad boys going to come through. They're going to clean every one of these units. Nullus has got no feasible way to take all these fire giants down. He might pick off that one there as the rest of those Hippaspis falling. And we see Matreiuss getting this town center up, and that's going to be Nullus's realization that Matreiuss still has economy and the game is lost. What a maddeningly crazy game. There was that moment where Matreiuss clicked Ragnarok and I thought, oh no, he's got no resources in the bank. If all Nullus has to do is defend, it is fine. But he had just enough in buildings that he'd already been built from that he could cancel that, make some villages and keep going. There was 100% a moment here that Nullus just had to say, screw it, let's go with my Paspis before that second fire giant came out and attack the farms, stop the food economy, and he could have won this game in that attack, but there's no way to know that. That's some level of decision making and age mythology knowledge that's just kind of somewhat foreign. This situation probably has never happened before, so how do you know what to do? Matreiuss gets the dub. What an insane game. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you are on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.